Primal 4K app, Facebook, YouTube, the World Wide Web. I want to welcome you all to Primal Sports Center. I'm your host, Dale.
And I'm Kane the Schwab Watson. And do remember, Jai is watching.
Jai is watching.
Jai is watching over us. I tell you.
Yes,
Big up Daddy Lion, Always curious for Primal Sports Center. And again, you know what time it is. And we have a jam-packed show for you this week. Again, as usual, we have some NBA to talk about. We have some table tennis to talk about, which I know I'm not going to steal Peter's thunder, because if we mention the table tennis later on, because some things going on down there in Doha, is it? The level step up to, just when you think table tennis reach a pinnacle, these guys showing you that, hey, I can go even further.
Yeah.
We have some football from Europa League to our own Jamaican Premier League to all the leagues closing all over in Europe and around the world. So, football, we have Champions League final to preview coming up again next week. So, sports all around. But to kick things off there, we're finished up last week, some NBA.
Yeah.
We're hyping up Game 7 for Denver and OKC.
Yeah.
And we're long past that now. We're both, I would say, the midway point in the conference final for the East and West. We both made our predictions, but as I said, to rewind, to go forward, let's talk about Game 7, Denver versus OKC.
Well, they got dismantled.
Yeah.
Then Denver.
We won't spend much time on that for sure.
Denver. Jokic didn't get much help in that Game 7, and he himself didn't play all that well. But overall, I thought that Porter Jr. and the guys and Murray and the guys that surrounded him didn't show up, and as usual, on point, Westbrook did.
Not show up.
No, Westbrook show up. That was a problem.
That was a problem. Him get game time.
Yes, and we saw where in the first quarter, the end of the first quarter.
Denver start out hot.
Yes, and as Westbrook came into the game, that was it for
momentum
Denver.
Shift, and then from there they couldn't.
Turnovers and mistakes after mistakes, just mishandling the ball, just overall, just low
being
IQ.
On the court,
just being on the court. Yeah. Being on the court.
And you should be able to give some of the players rest with your ability to produce.
Yeah.
Even if you can't score.
Even if you can't produce, at least maintain.
Precisely.
Just maintain.
That's what I mean, your production-wise. And I'm not talking production-wise about just only getting buckets. Mind your game, making pass, defending, your IQ, your level of what you should bring as a former franchise player, former MVP. To settle in a game.
A so-called top 75 greatest of all time winning them.
Your IQ, your ability to just be on the court and be. I think this is probably
so we're putting all of this on Westbrook because we were watching it.
Yeah,
we were watching it.
And I tell you that once
Westbrook came into the game, the momentum changed, everything shifted. Just mistakes after mistakes after mistakes from that point, and then the lead just got out of hand from maybe about the start, the midpoint of the second quarter. That was just it, and it's not only we blaming Westbrook, but we said we're other analysts.
But if you look back on last week's show, I said it.
Yeah, man, Westbrook is.
I said it. Westbrook is a liability. I've been saying it from season that it's up to what he can come on the court and do.
But why would the Joker sign off on Westbrook? Because he was the one who wanted Westbrook. LeBron wanted Westbrook, and you saw what happened. Westbrook could not play with KD. We saw how KD have to separate himself from Westbrook. LeBron come and separate. Why did the Joker signed off on Westbrook coming to Denver? When he made that move, and I said, "There's no way on earth Denver can win."
Yeah.
That's why I was going against Denver no matter who them play. There's no way. James Harden and Russell Westbrook, you cannot win rings with those guys on your team as a leader, as somebody who's getting play time. Maybe 5 minutes per or maybe 7 minutes garbage time is good enough, but it cannot be an upfront man for no team in the league. And this man is top 75.
That's what they say.
That according to the stats. I tell you, the triple double is overrated in the modern day game. It is overrated.
Especially when you play for a team that basically you're the only person on the team and
ball hog.
The team is not really that good.
Yeah.
So everything goes through you. You're basically the system.
Nah, man.
And he uses the ball. Well, back in the day when he made those triple doubles, but overall, I don't want to knock Denver too much. I think OKC played a good game, a timely game where they made adjustments. We saw players stepping up, Alex Caruso coming out, Martin Jokic coming off, I said production off the bench. And we're going to go further into the Eastern Conference Final and the Western Conference Final, where the both teams up to have a deeper roster and a deeper bench.
Yeah.
Production off the bench. So back to that game 7, we saw where Alex Caruso came in. I mean, J-Dub step up. I mean, Casey Wallace off the bench. You know, they have the two twin towers in Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren. And a game 7 on the road always going to be tough for Denver, especially with those injuries to key players like Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon. I mean, I said we expected a closer match, but they couldn't withhold the pressure from OKC. Plus, as I said, no production from these role players.
Yeah.
And this OKC team is one of the best teams I've ever seen play, but whereas defensive-wise.
In terms of stats, they rate them better than the 98 Bulls. In terms of overall stats, everything, offense, defense, blowing out teams by certain margins.
I don't think they would stand a chance against it.
I know, obviously they won't, because the stats are inflated in modern, in this type of the way the game is played now. But
not to stick on that comparison.
And I'm going to tell the people them is defense that win championships.
Defense.
Now people talk about how you have to score, and I'm saying defense lead to easy baskets.
Easy buckets, because we see where Caruso got some timely deflection steals that led to some momentum change in layups, some dunks. So defense leads to offense.
Swarming defense.
And easy offense. And it puts pressure on the other team to come and respond. So your defense going to just open up the game for you. Yep. Instead of me score, you score, me score, you score, me score. If I can stop you and then I come down the court in quick transition and get a bucket, you are forced now to bring up back the ball where I go apply defense.
Sometimes them overplay too.
Yeah.
And play out a characteristic, start taking some deep trees and
so I picked Denver on game 7 because I think the Joker could have done it, but hats off to this OKC team, and we both said whoever won this series,
we'll win the title. Yeah, we'll definitely win.
And OKC came out on top, and we see here now, fast forwarding to the Western Conference Final, they're up 2-0 versus a Minnesota Timberwolves team that I think is in too deep over their heads. The water rising high, and if
is a sweep? I think it's a sweep.
They can equal one.
Might.
Based on, always the complacency factor of, steamrolling over
I'm
a
looking
team
at this Thunder team. I'm looking at this Thunder team. I don't see no complacency at all.
I don't see it either. I see a sweep, but
I don't see.
Mike can pull off a game.
Ant-Man.
4-1. I don't see them winning more than one game.
Gobert will have to do a little bit more.
What can Gobert do?
I mean, offensive. I think him have to impact the game on both ends if they're going to have a chance.
I'm sending him to the free throw line.
Gobert?
Yeah.
He's a good free throw shooter. So,
average.
But Gobert would have to have a greater impact to alleviate some of the pressure.
I think it's Naz Reid that has to step up.
Well, as a 6 man, Naz Reid.
Naz Reid. And DiVincenzo off the bench. Those two guys, I think, should play more minutes. Rest Conley. Rest Gobert.
Yeah, Conley is a little bit.
Rest Conley. Start them.
I'm undersized and I'm a little bit too slow for them guys now.
Playing in probably like 18th season.
Yeah. And he's undersized as well. You know,
so play DiVincenzo, play Naz Reid, and you might can sneak out again. But even so, the series is a wrap.
I think so.
OKC in 5.
It's all over. Yeah. It's all over.
The might can squeeze one, home court and catch a fire. Naz Reid catch a fire. DiVincenzo, McDaniels. Alexander Walker, and then
Although there's a curse, There's a curse, Shea is the MVP, right?
Yeah.
Every first time MVP. Normally they don't win,
And we say OKC going this series, but don't sleep on Indiana.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna shift gears. We're gonna shift to the east.
Because the east, we see where Indiana versus New York. New York beating Boston.
Yeah.
A good series victory. Indiana beating a hobble Cleveland side, but even so, the way Indiana is playing now, I think they might stand an outside chance of winning it all. Because for one, I think that on any given night, a player can show up and give you 20.
For Indiana.
Halliburton making some big shots in every series. And we see where they came back in game 1 where New York was leading by 14 with less than 3 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And Naismith, I don't know, turned into Steph Curry and Klay Thompson together.
Yeah.
And a hot night, just dashing in 3-pointers. I mean, and that comeback, I think, just took the sails out of New York.
And they played well last night again and lost by 5 points. New York
Down the
got
stretch,
down
New
2
York
love.
going to be tired. New York rotation is what, 5,
I
6
think the first game, the first game tells it all. You know that I think it's over.
Yeah, the first game, losing that first game.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna get a sweep.
You know, New York. I was bringing New York in because you know we want to bring back the Mecca, but
I told you last week.
With the first game,
we both want New York to win, but I don't see New York winning. You saw New York winning, but I think Indiana team.
Once they lose, I think the coach made a mistake in the first match. I think you don't have to foul. You know, let the guy take the three. Let him shoot.
Yeah.
Let him shoot. Let him shoot. You know what I mean? So the blunder was on Brunson as well, passing the ball when you know you're the clutch man, you're the best free throw shooter on the team, leaving it up to Towns. Well, you know, Towns is just faking it.
Yeah.
He's trying to fake it. He's faking it.
Towns
He knows he's not the man. He's
Towns
not the man.
Be in the Harden messbook category.
Yeah,
Towns.
Missing that free throw at the end of the match, at the end of the game to put you up 4. It would have been a wrap.
Yeah.
You know, and Nobe missed one as well. I blame Brunson still. I blame Brunson.
As the leader of that team.
Yeah, had the ball in his position and pass the ball. Why are you passing the ball? You know them going to foul. Josh Hart had the ball at one point, and Josh Hart is a 90% free throw shooter and passed the ball to Towns and Nobe. And I'm saying, why would you do that?
But Towns and Nobe is not that bad a free throw.
No, man.
The pressure moments you want.
The big man must take the free throw. Hold on to the ball and make them foul you. You know, he made 2 mistakes in the final minute of the game. That pass, that bounce up, and they had to review it.
Yeah.
Why are you attacking and you're up? You're up in the game. Why you don't just hold the ball?
That was a big comeback by Indiana, though.
It's a bit of luck with a bit of luck.
Yeah, reminiscent of Reggie Miller.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I couldn't believe my eyes.
With the choke sign, to me, that was iconic.
And 2 on the line, like KD, when KD was supposed to beat Bucks.
That shot, when that shot going, you know, and him do the choking, I was like, wow. Prime time.
But
I was one of them that saying Halliburton is overrated. But
if I give him flowers,
no, I take that back, man. Make me eat my words, and not much players on and off the table can make me eat my words.
Yeah.
Peter, I know you're listening out there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but Halliburton.
For sure.
Let me eat my words and have a take it back. Halliburton is prime time.
He's an all-star.
Halliburton is playing top level. And hey, I have to apologize. It takes a big man to apologize. And a big man recognize the next big man. Halliburton, play lights out. And man lead this Indiana team. Last night we saw Pascal Siakam take over. Before it was Miles Turner in game 1.
I think Pascal is under the radar. Pascal is a big player.
Yeah, of course, man. And then the thing is, he can play the role where, all right, tonight I'm just going to get rebounds and assists. And let Naismith do it. Let Neymar do it.
And you notice what they do with him? Them have him in the post. Whenever they want an easy bucket, they can go to Pascal because them have to double him.
Yeah, and then them can kick out to the shooter.
Exactly, them have to double him.
Neymar, we see McConnell giving us some time in minutes last night and double-digit points off the bench. And then I said you have Mathurin that can come in. Him not playing good in game 1 and game 2, but game 3, Mathurin can.
Talking about the coach at the Indiana Pacers.
Rick Carlisle? Oh, man, the legendary from long time.
I noticed. What I noticed is that they're not talking about the job that he has done with Indiana.
For years
remember him leave Luka because of Luka habits, you know.
Yeah.
Remember him leave, him just get up on the side say, I'm done with Dallas. You know, because everybody now know that it's mainly because of Luka and him.
Get easy up for Luka.
No, well, you know.
Luka gonna bring that glory to Lakers.
But this coach deserves a lot of credit.
No, but
nobody's talking about the coach Ken. Nobody.
Yeah, but it's like, why we going to talk about Pep and we know Pep is Pep?
No, man, we still about Pep. We still talk about Pep. Rick I don't hear nobody mention him.
I don't think he's under the radar.
He's a big coach.
That's what I'm saying. People know this, so it's not like we're going to say,
no, man, them used to talk about Phil. Them used to talk about everybody when in the moment, I think, you know, the adjustment, but I don't hear anybody saying anything, but I'm going to say it because he's a big coach.
Yeah, man, a big coach long time, man.
He's a big coach, man. And him know basketball, you know? And
Carlisle, I mean, has been around the league from I was a boy coaching.
Yeah.
I think he's around 65 now, or thereabouts. But
Yeah.
Rick Carlisle been coaching in the league for over 20 years.
I remember the man take
From
up
the 90s.
Remember Dallas. The man just leave Dallas as a big franchise.
I remember he was at
big player,
Indiana back in the day,
Yeah.
And come back. But Rick
And
Carlisle,
just go to a little small you understand what I'm saying? And build it back. Man,
what I like with this Indiana team too, I mean, as I said, big up Rick Carlisle.
They're rounded.
They're rounded, plus
They're rounded.
they're pressing the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't really necessarily have great defenders. We have good defenders.
Yeah.
But they
put
play
pressure.
high court and they put pressure.
High press, yeah.
As they get the ball, they're running back up.
Yeah.
Then they're pressing it high up the court. So, and I said last week.
And the pace of the offense.
Yeah, man.
This guy is, well, obviously the coach is playing to the strength of the point guard, Halliburton, by allowing him to play fast.
All 5 persons on the court can score.
Deadly.
And score 3-pointers.
No, not only 3 can.
No,
Every single one of them good in the paint.
And that's about the stretch of floor.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying they're settling for the 3.
But
they can stretch the floor. So if they go in and you double, they can kick it out. But they're playing interior first, but they have the exterior. If you look at the Knicks now, OG is not a great shooter. Josh Hart don't want to score.
Don't want to shoot at all.
Don't want to shoot none at all.
And even not look at the rim.
All Towns want to do is shoot 3 for a big man. Michael Bridges is sometimes. Mitchell Robinson come on the court, not. Just want to grab rebounds and give you back the ball. And you look on pace.
And Payne is just like a little wild point guard, if you ask me.
Probably shouldn't be even in the league.
Yeah.
I don't know where him get that jump shot from. But I mean, it goes in sometime.
Yeah.
But in comparison to Indiana, you notice all those players, everything goes through Brunson. Yes, everything goes through Halliburton, but Halliburton has everybody around him.
He have more weapons.
Will go to the rim, getting layups, tapping, coming in, getting dunks, and the shooting the 3 as well. Turner, interior, Pascal, Naismith, Nemard, Materin.
Yeah.
All these players, double digits, can score double digits.
Weapons.
Who on New York?
Highest scoring team, right? Yeah.
I would OKC.
Yeah, them.
Who on New York can come in and give you 10, 15 points? You know, Derek Towns going to score 20. Brunson going to score 30 plus. Everybody
it's really Towns and Anobi, you know, as the.
Yeah, Anobi is more of a. I wouldn't say he's an out and outright scorer, but I mean, if OG is going off, Towns probably take a backseat. It's not like everybody not going to chip in at the same time. And I said, Josh Hart don't want to score. So Indiana is a good matchup for New York, and all these, I would like to call them Swiss Army knives. They get everything on the court. And the person high up the court. They have timely 3-pointers. Look how Naismith scored 3-pointers the other day. Timely. And then they say going in the interior, getting offensive rebound, scoring, going to the free throw line. They're getting everything. And then Halliburton now, as Chris would call him, Halliburton. Yeah. I mean, so this I said, go back to last week and I tell you, we both want it good for basketball, New York Twin, but I don't see them beating Indiana. Indiana taking 2 in New York now. It only leave for a sweep. Only for a sweep. And Mike can equal 1. The equal 1, maybe 2. But I
would say this: if New York win the next game, it's gonna be 2-2 going back to New York.
If New York win the next game.
Yeah, that's what I would say now. If New York win the next
I don't see New York winning 2 games in Indiana.
But if they can't win the next, obviously they're gonna get sweep. But if New York wins the next game, win the next game, I think it's going back 2-2.
And the thing with these crowds, you know, if you look at the New York crowd versus the Indiana crowd, you know, the New York crowd is more of superstars and, you know.
Indiana crowd is more fans, eh?
Yeah, man. The man a farmhouse, man.
Loud, yeah.
Pitchfork Indiana and them thing there, you know. Them a come out, you know, and support them team, you know. Like, you know, them Vuvuzela and them pot cover and all of that. Indiana now let up, man. You see the white flags waving in the... You ever look in the background of OKC too?
Yeah.
Same thing with Indiana.
Real fans.
Yeah, man, them fans are come out, man.
The New York, most of them are wagonists.
Yeah,
most
they
of them
come
are
out like
stars
New
and
York
wagonists.
now. And the former players coming in and they say, hey, let's go New York.
Everybody
I see
start
J.R.
them
Smith
up.
and Carmelo in the crowd. And, you know, yeah, yes. But...
So what you're saying? So you say Indiana OKC finals, and you give Indiana outside shots. What's the odds of Indiana winning based on the book? Is about 5-1.
Probably even more to that, because I mean, Shea with the MVP
5
and
to 6-1.
Okay, but I think it will be closer than that, and it's gonna be a fast tempo game. And the thing is, Indiana will force you to play outer shots. with their style of basketball, and they force you to play quick. That's a community quick. New York wants to slow it down, and Brunson can't get a chance to slow it down. Naismith on them skin. And if Naismith get in foul trouble, Mattering gonna be on them skin. If Mattering in foul trouble, McConnell gonna be on them skin. And everything is direct through Brunson.
Say, it sounds like you're seeing a game 7 in the NBA Finals this year. It sounds like you feel like it can go to a game 7 with OKC Indiana.
It can. At least 6. I don't think Indiana is going to go to the finals and get sweep. Like, I mean, I don't want to name any players where we have seen they got to the finals.
This would have been the upset of the
century. So
no, it's not the upset of the century, but it's going to be very close because when Detroit beat the Lakers in 2004. That was a big upset.
It was a big upset. But
of course, with Carmelo and Shaq and Kobe and
old man team.
Nobody saw Rip Hamilton and Ben Wallace and Rashid Wallace and those guys beating the Lakers. So this Indiana team, you're probably right. I don't say a sweep in the finals if they win the next game. Because if they lose the next game, I think New York will win out. But if Indiana go to the finals, probably it's very probable.
If New York go finals, then probably get swept.
Not New York, I mean Indiana. Sorry, if Indiana go to the finals, it's going to be a close match.
Yeah.
It's going to be a close match. The better defensive team will win. Obviously, that's OKC. They have the Twin Tower, the Giants.
Chet and
Hankins.
And they have size. I think OKC size is underrated.
Yes.
I mean, Indiana would have to play lights out, plus with their Swiss Army Knights to match up with OKC. You know, Shea gonna get his. So, but the thing is, Shea has backup. Jalen Williams can give it 20. I mean, Chet can give it 15. I mean, they have shooters off the bench. They have a rotation of 8 players, 9 players. Just like Indiana.
And all 12 men and that team can defend.
Yeah, they're coming in defending.
Every single one of them,
like Scrappy on the defensive end. Dort is underrated.
There's no soft soap on that team.
Yeah, Dort don't mind marking your best player and not scoring. Getting on
Man look more like an NFL player if you ask me.
Upside. So it's gonna be tough. And Shea gonna give you 30 piece.
Yeah.
But the thing with Indiana have like 7 players that gonna score for 10 points.
I can't say that. I'm trying to look at the matchup. I think looking at the matchup now with Indiana and OKC, when you have Chet, who's gonna guard him?
Miles Turner, Pascal.
Pascal too small.
I'm just telling you who's gonna guard him. It's gonna be Pascal.
I think OKC gonna give them it's gonna be a matchup nightmare for Indiana. If the game slows down a little bit.
But the game not going to slow down.
Yeah, if they play fast, yes. But if the game slow down,
over the ball.
Yes.
If you look at Halliburton stats, Halliburton don't really turn over the ball that much,
Yeah.
And if the shots start going in,
a good point guard, man.
Indiana can't have an outside chance.
Well,
outside chance. OKC is still a favorite.
As I say, if you want to make some money, you can try the odds. And about 6-1, 5-1.
You said it earlier. Rick Carlisle.
Big coach, yeah, of course.
Rick Carlisle has the edge in terms of the coaching matchup.
Yeah.
And has been in the league from, over 20 years.
And he's proven.
So Rick Carlisle might be the difference.
He won with Dirk, right?
Yeah, he was a coach with Jason Kidd, Dirk. Yeah.
Remember I said he was an underdog going into that matchup against
Miami.
The big 3 from Miami with LeBron, with Jason Terry and Dirk and all those. And pulled it off. What did I get? 4-2? 4-1?
4-2, I think.
With LeBron scoring 4 points in one of the games. Imagine that. I was bring him up sometime,
But that coaching matchup, I give Indiana the edge. But OKC, the way they've been playing from here, it's hard to go against OKC. But don't be surprised. Indiana push it and make it an interesting series. And we see 2 small markets in the final. And I think that's what the league wants. And the NBA is moving from super teams.
Yeah.
Not even the NBA. We know how the super teams come about.
Yeah.
The whole LeBron factor, deciding where he wants to play and who he wants to play.
In all fairness to LeBron, it probably was Ray Allen and
Bosh
and Kevin Garnett teaming up to go to Boston.
Yeah, but Boston wasn't winning.
Yeah, but there is all three top players: Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. Maybe it's Boston started first. Well,
Yeah,
I'll
but
blame
it's not
LeBron.
like
You
Boston
sure it's
won.
LeBron started?
Boston never win. Nobody knew a Rondo.
No, them never
Paul
win.
Pierce.
But I'm just saying is them call it the big three because
And they
the
weren't in
top
the
players.
prime. Kevin Garnett wasn't in prime.
I said Kevin wasn't in prime.
Kevin Bryant wasn't in prime. Man, how much years him spend?
So it's a LeBron.
LeBron wasn't in prime. Bosh in prime.
And Wade.
Wade win already. Boston was. What? You ever see Boston win a ring? Before that.
Before
In your lifetime, you saw Boston win a ring?
No.
Boston was a team like. I mean,
Okay, 88
ancient
time
team.
there was Detroit and
Yeah.
those teams winning. Boston was like 86,
Boston was an
85.
ancient team
Yeah.
with only winning titles with Bill Russell back in the day.
Larry Bird.
No,
Don't go so far.
I'm
Don't go so far.
talking the bulk of the
Don't go
championship.
so far.
How much Larry Bird win? 3?
5. No, sorry, three. Sorry,
Three Larry
Magic.
Bird, yeah.
Magic go 5.
Yeah, that whole rivalry with Magic and Bird.
And go about 8 finals or something like
win
that
3.
within in the 80s.
And then when last one?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Still
So they're going to Boston was to renew Boston. Miami had one with Wade.
well, if
And
you
go team up with a superstar.
because some people think that Boston was the first super team in terms of how people just
Well, if you
work
look at,
them way to go on one team.
you could say Houston did it then with Hakeem then.
Akeem and Clive and Charles.
Yeah.
Them never win.
No, Charles, but
The year before was Charles ended up coming
super
after.
team. That was, but they lost when Charles went. And they tried the whole super team thing, but it didn't work. But
Yeah.
you could say that was probably the first super team.
And then Kobe them did the same thing with
No,
Malone.
but Malone and Payne, I don't even call it a super team.
Yeah.
Malone and Payne was in the
yeah,
40s. Come on.
All right, so we can agree
Players
that,
in the
that
prime.
maybe LeBron highlighted it more because the three players were more in their prime than in comparison to the others who tried it before. Because Malone was over the hill for real, and Peyton was over the hill. Them come win a ring which shocked them.
I know. I was just when the research recall I win a title as a player too in 1986.
He's a big coach.
Yeah. And he only won title as a coach 2011 with Dallas Mavericks. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes, so as you said, the coaching part probably have the advantage there.
even so, I pose this question to you: what does this do for the league to show that these two small markets can go to the final, and obviously one of them must win because there's no draw in basketball.
No, it's a
we
good
are
thing.
previewing it because we already said OKC Indiana. We don't see both teams coming back. We're not writing it down in Etching Reading that these two must go final, but the way things are shaping up, and the preview is a OKC Indiana final. Two small markets, two small.
It must. I think it's a good thing. You know, if you grew up in an area, right? You want to know that the players that you cheer for, you know, they're loyal to your club. You don't want to see them 1 minute them with your team, then you see them jump gone to LA, then them jump. You know, you like to see it's like how the Warriors build the team from scratch, from day one. They do it from the draft and they stay. You know, the fans, you have more connection. The fans have more of a connection with the team that way. That when everybody at team up just because they want to go into a big market. You know, for example, Giannis. It was good when Giannis decided to stay at the Bucks. Now I hear that he wanted to leave the Bucks. And I'm saying, why you want to leave the Bucks? He want to leave the Bucks because he's not good enough. But that's not what he's saying. You know? He's saying that the organization is not good enough for him. Enough players don't want to come to within Milwaukee. But I think it's the best way that, you know, as a fan, if I was a fan, I wouldn't want every season come as a new set of players. I want to build a connection and a kind of love and affinity for.
Ant with Minnesota. Can you imagine Ant leading Minnesota to go to where?
It's not good. It's not
York,
exactly my point.
Say Spurs, or where could Ant go? Like a bigger market.
I think
Minnesota is a small market as well. So I say we have to give Minnesota props to be there with Ant, and Nasrid is a folklore hero in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So
from the perspective of the fans and even for the NBA itself, it's better when you build from like that instead of your team hopping all the time. You know what I mean? It build more of a connection, man.
And even so, I don't like when superstars
team up,
just go all over the place and just
look at KD. KD is a KD, in my opinion, I call KD is a disgrace.
He should have stayed in OKC, but then.
Man is a disgrace. The man is a drum gone all over the place now. Hear him looking to leave Phoenix.
Yeah, where Gady could go? Washington, no?
No, man,
Yeah.
the way Kobe did it, I'm not saying you can't maybe get a trade, maybe in the organization that things not working out. Kobe stayed with one team. Magic stayed with one team. You know, the legacy that you build with that team is just different when you start a team up. Larry Bird, one team. MJ, one team.
Yeah.
So you have a long-lasting memory.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying MJ went to Wizards, but
Yeah,
I don't
just
count
like
that.
Hakeem is a Rocket.
He went to the Wizards for other reasons.
I don't even
You get
really
me?
count that as him career.
Yeah, it's a joke thing, but I'm saying one team.
Hakeem. Although him traded in the last part, but I think Toronto and a couple other teams.
Oh, come on. We all know Hakeem
Hakeem's
as a
Houston Rockets. Who
LeBron is representing? Who is LeBron representing?
People use that as
When you go retire him jersey, you think jersey should be retired in LA?
Them say it enhance him career.
No,
Let him have 3 different all-star careers all over the place.
You guys think that LeBron jersey should be retired in LA?
No.
Not a chance in this world. I don't even know where he should have retired jersey.
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
In Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Yeah, in Cleveland. Or Miami.
I think Cleveland because he gave Cleveland the first title in history. So Cleveland definitely started out with Cleveland, went back to Cleveland, gave them a ring for the first time.
No, the league gave him that ring.
Well, the refs and we know it go, but him still get the ring. Right? So he deserved to retire.
You see him in the barbershop talking and say, that made him the GOAT. That made him feel like he's the GOAT.
It's just a different feeling, just from a fan perspective. It's just different when you have, if you rate a suit.
He's probably the only player I see that give himself the title, the greatest.
Great.
Jordan never tell himself he's great. Tell people.
No, but
never hear Jordan say he's great.
Same tattoo or whatever, and the king or whatever, he's a chosen one. Or
chosen one.
Chosen one.
Frozen one.
He's a frozen one, of course.
people, we reach a midway point. I mean, controversial boss not in studio.
Yeah.
He's somewhere all over the world. I know this man.
But every other week.
Every month.
Every week. Every other week. No, it's not every month.
Primal
every
team.
other week.
Mr. Primal team, come. I don't know. We have booked two, you know.
Yeah, Dubai. We can go Dubai too.
Yeah, Dubai. Right? But people, it's time for the controversial boss. Reach midway point. Peter, take it away.
Greetings. I don't think I travel any more than Coach Dale Parham. Seems to have a permanent. You're about 50% in Jamaica, boss. Anyway, I spent a little time in Central America, and I'm gonna get to that for a second. But guys, is it not too late for Elaine Thompson to start her season? Elaine Thompson has been missing in actions for the better part all of last year, and now we have not heard a thing from Elaine Thompson. People who peep over fence can't even tell me if the lady is looking anywhere capable of running this year. With our world championships and trials coming up, not having even touched the track. Is Elaine Thompson's season over? Or is it just people who drop the button whose season over? Should be retiring. Okay. There's gonna be a lot of table tennis. So let me tell you, World Table Tennis Championships is taking place in Doha. And I thought that the quality of play would be affected by the red tables. No such chance. The man is playing some serious table tennis. I have seen some of the most amazing rallies. And this is happening game after game. Some of the most amazing rallies. Could it be that the red table is actually making the game better? I don't know. I've not tried to play on one yet. Kane. But I've seen some quality retrieving. I don't see shots going past people the way they're used to. And so this World Championship has produced something, though, that the last two did not, which is non-Chinese medalists. So the first crack at the Chinese wall is that the men's doubles will be conducted between a Taiwanese team with Lin and Kao against, I think it's a Japanese team. So for the first time in years, Chinese men's doubles team will not even be in the finals in Qatar. What's happening? In women's singles, it's going the same way as we expected. Sun Ying-Sha dominates table tennis and will be playing Wang Manyu, number 1, number 2 in the world. I don't think Wang Manyu have what it takes to ever beat Sun Ying-Sha. So I think this one is going to be easy, that Sun Ying-Sha will retain her title. She's been 3 straight finals and won 2 so far. In the mixed doubles, I think that I'm not sure. I think 2 Chinese teams will be playing in the mixed doubles finals. And the women's doubles finals again is 2 Chinese teams. But what I'd like to come back to now is that the men's singles finals will feature the man of the moment, the man in form, Hugo Calderano, will face Wang Chu Chin, the real big man in table tennis, will play the real strongest man in table tennis. And Calderano has not missed a step. Today was the most exciting semifinals that I've seen in years. It went 3-all. It went 3-all. And then at the start of the 7th set, what's his name?
Hugo.
Yang Jin Kun.
Yeah,
Jin
Jin
Kun ran out 3 or 4 straight points. And then Calderano ran out 10 straight points to get to 10-4. And then Liang Jin Kun ran out another 7 or so straight points to get to just below deuce, with Calderano clinching it on the wire. Very exciting stuff. It almost prearranged because I've never seen table tennis in such long spurts. Table tennis players are used to winning in spurts of 3 points, 2 points, but I mean a 10-point spurt to turn around the game. Congratulations to Colorado. He's playing Wang Chu Chin in the finals. Wang Chu Chin is China's best player by far. But right now, I don't know. It looked very 50-50 to me. But my money is on the quicker guy. I believe that Wang Chuchin will win. Wang Chuchin has had an easier path to the finals. I'm sure you guys will agree. I think he probably dropped a set the entire tournament. It's 4-love, 4-love, 4-love with a 4-1 every here and there. But Calderano has had closer matches. But in the open exchanges, he has been sublime. He's driving the ball from both sides with fury, and he's retrieving well as well. Because even when Liang Jinkun got to the ball earlier than him, he was able to retrieve some fine retrieving and fight his way back in with his overwhelming power. So this one is going to be pretty close. But my eye, and that's the eye that counts, is saying Wang Chushin will win the finals tomorrow. Even though the
Give
rest
a
of the
score,
world
give
is
a score,
hoping that
Peter.
I
4-1,
think it's going to go
4-2.
down to the wire. I think it's going to be 4-3 or 4-2.
4-2.
I know Calderano will win the first game because Wang Chuchin tends to be vulnerable at the start of the games. But I think the Chinese have always been good at making the tactical adjustment. And then the rest is just up to who is able to maintain the hot streak. Calderano showed a lack of, he looked a little over anxious during the streak that he lost to Liang Jinkun. I saw cracks in his armor. I thought he looked a little less sure than he usually looks. But let us see what is going to happen when it happens, eh? So, guys, you guys might notice, but I was in Costa Rica the whole of this week, and the big sporting event in Costa Rica was the San Jose team. San Jose is the capital. Was playing against another team in the big finals, and it was well presented. I mean, Costa Rica league is very lively, and so on. But what I was sitting in a Hooters, and I don't mind telling you guys this. Waiting on the match to start. And guess what I saw? The ugliest football match that I have ever witnessed in a derby finals. The amount of fouls and dirty playing. These guys were trying to kick each other down more than they were kicking the ball in the net. And by the way, it was very, very poor, even by Costa Rican standards. But what that tells me, is that Jamaica at some point is going to play Costa Rica. And I think that these guys are not as unflappable as I would have expected from a team that has been to the World Cup. Surely at least twice, and possibly multiple times. So Costa Rican football. I was a little disappointed with it. It wasn't a good spectacle. But even then, I was reminded of Jamaica in that the lights turned off with 4 minutes to go. Once San Jose scored, somebody turned off some of the lights, and the match was suspended for 10 minutes. Remind me of when we used to play some table tennis in the Dominican Republic. A few observations though is that Costa Rica. The reason I was there was for business. Costa Rica seems to have duty-free access into Jamaica markets. Goods and services they produce come to Jamaica without paying duties. So we can freely import goods from Costa Rica. But guess what, guys? Costa Rica require us to have a US visa to visit Costa Rica.
You
Jamaicans cannot
serious?
yes, man. Jamaicans cannot freely um, visit Costa Rica. So Primal Sports is calling for the Minister of Industry, Trade, Commerce, Education, Science, Technology, call it every minister. Why do these people have duty-free access to Jamaica if they're not going to allow us to enter their country without not even a Costa Rica, a US visa? That's unfair. That's unfair. And
You
I'm
sure
calling
about that
for it
one,
to stop.
Peter? You need a US visa to go Costa Rica?
100% sure, bro. Okay.
Oh, that's not
But
what
a
I
few
heard,
good
but
things I
yeah.
noticed. A few good things I noticed about Costa Rica though. Police don't interrupt the flow of traffic. They have enough traffic problems that the police do not interrupt the flow of traffic. There's a brand of car that the police in Jamaica seem to stop exclusively. I'm not saying I'm not calling out the name of the car. But
Yeah.
why the Costa Rican police do not interfere with the flow of traffic the way it is in Jamaica? In Jamaica, every corner you turn is police stopping, you know.
Mm.
Certainly in Kingston. Doesn't happen in Costa Rica. Finally, I'm here in Panama and Jamaica dancehall. Now, on now carry it. Do you know the Panamanian DJs are playing better dancehall than we are? The beat mixing down here is sublime. It's superb. The programming, they're playing all time. I've heard every old artist, Papa San, Major Mackerel,
Some
Major
dinosaurs.
Banton. Yes, they are playing the mixes really nice. Me love dancehall. Me never realize is Jamaicans not playing it right. This is Primal, gentlemen. Mix the music better than that. That's sports commentary. What say you?
This man all over the place, man. So
Yeah.
like him not on business in partying. What kind
Yeah.
of business?
I talk about
Some,
dancehall,
so that's a jiu-jitsu business in the party. Practicing some jiu-jitsu. Yeah, yeah, I tell you. But
Guys,
yeah,
please
man.
remind people that they can call in and let us have their comments. Guys, the number is on the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask second producer Joel, please display the number so people can call in toll free. Oh, it's
Yeah.
not toll free yet. We don't set up toll free yet. But just call in so
Yeah.
that the host can hear what you
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, the number
615-433-5674. That's 615-433-5674.
yeah. Feel free to call in and give us your view on anything, any topic. As Peter touched on a few points here from the table tennis. I'm into even the Costa Rican football. But before I touch on the football, because we have some JPL to talk about in European League. The table tennis. Yo,
Yeah.
they might play upon a level of deal.
Yeah.
The shot making ability of the players, not only the top players, I said the top 5, top 10 players, from you reach round of 64, round of 128. These guys are making some shots.
So-
You have to make 3-4 shots just to win a point.
Yeah. The game is easier to play. What I say easier, shots are much easier to make now.
With the
ball and the reduction in the spin. It's more physical and technical.
Yeah.
Once you have the physique and you have the technical ability, so the game is much easier to play in terms of shot making
than back in the
way
80s,
easier.
90s.
So it's not anything out of this world
So
why
they
these guys are making these shots.
change the equipment.
Because you can make that shot, you can make the same shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that you have to get
physically fit and
yes.
you're out there just brawling.
That's what it comes down to now.
So that's why they're probably catching up with the Chinese.
Exactly. The reduction. Once you reduce the spin
And then more
and
strength.
technically they're improving and technique. You notice the Europeans used to be a little bit more crankier back then. If you notice, most of them now they're kind of more smoother now.
Yeah.
So,
All over.
Yes.
So
no matter who.
Previewing the final, who do you have? You go one,
For sure, I'm gonna go with the quicker player, as what Peter said. I'm going with the one Chukin. Yeah.
I'm going with Hugo, the Brazilian bro, just because of the high he's on, just coming off that World Cup
And he's
victory.
representing this side of the world, you know.
And I think Wang Chu can crack.
Of course, Ron. All the
pressure,
Chinese.
and I think there's less pressure on Hugo. Hugo will be.
You guys actually
freedom.
happy? You feel like you guys won already?
Yeah,
Just
and I
reaching the
think-
finals alone.
Yeah.
When was the last? Well, Shoes did it in 2021.
Yeah.
2022 in America, but that was a lopsided draw. But Colorado
And I
is
think
representing
Wang
the
Chu can
entire
crack,
Panam region.
and he's playing good.
And what I like with Calderon is that he has changed his game as well. He's playing a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
And he's more forehand minded now. Is less of the gallery, less of the gallery.
Yeah,
Him actually look like him playing to win now.
Yeah,
Before he was like a showman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Step up, like a Ghazi.
It's a showman.
Ghazi play good to what?
Of course, Ghazi plays.
Ghazi still in that showman.
Yes,
type of
yeah. But you can see
tennis.
where Calderon, him
Big
says
man
winning
team.
time now.
So you
Him
two guys
actually-
going with Wang Chuk.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going with the
I'm going
faster
with you,
player.
man.
And there, let me ask you, wouldn't you say that the training methods now, because of YouTube, everybody's training the way the Chinese train. Everybody's doing multi-ball now. Everybody's doing the same drills that the Chinese used to keep secret. Everybody's
Yes, I
doing
agree.
it. So I think that's why the world is getting smoother.
Yes, I agree. You know, it's all out there for everybody to sit down. You know, we're getting a call.
Yeah. Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, man. So I definitely agree that everybody knows what is what. Nothing is hidden anymore. You know, the only last thing that the Chinese have is that rubber. That forehand rubber.
Hurricane.
Yeah, that's well, yes, that's the last thing that they're holding on
and
to.
you know you have to twiddle it. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Especially on the high balls.
Exactly.
I'm going with Hugo.
So you're going with Hugo. Well, not a bad pick. You know,
Just run based on the high, and I think Wang Chuk can.
What's the odds? You go going at 3-1.
I'm going to double check it. But
Yeah.
I know Wang Chuk is the favorite, but and Wang Chuk playing good inside out four. And
I think all the Chinese players, they're under pressure now. I don't know if Li Gohan will ever get another opportunity. This is his fourth time failing for the Chinese.
Four, that probably more.
Losing in the earlier rounds. I think that's it for him. I think Lian Junkon, he's on the borderline as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think there's definitely pressure on Wang Chukin to win this. You know, I think the pressure is also on the Chinese coaching staff as well. You know, China they don't take
like
this thing
to lose,
lightly.
nah.
You know what I mean? So
I thought Ling Shindan would have done better. He lost a close match to Lian Jinkun, but I mean,
but Jan Jiki said it though, you know. Jan
Too much backhand.
Jiki said that the Chinese players they're failing because of the way they play. Meaning and even Wang Chukin, if you ask me in my opinion, I don't think one is all out forehand minded. But he's trying to play more forehand in this championship. That's what I noticed a little difference with him. But Jan Jiki said it. You know, the Chinese are at a point that they can be beaten now because they all have weak forehand. Well, I wouldn't call it weak forehand. But the game structure, the way they choose
Emphasis
to play.
is on backhand play.
Yes,
Emphasis, yeah.
Yes, so that is a little weakness that they have. And as I said before, Ling Shadan, I think he's a good player, have a good forehand, but yet still lazy footwork.
yeah, must be quick on his feet.
Yes, but because him choose to use backhand, he's comfortable. You know what I mean? Him can defend on both sides. So, you know, when they go and get tough, him not pivoting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but as you say, I go in with Wang Chukin. The pressure is on him though.
Pressure is definitely on him.
I remember 2004 Olympic finals, Ro Sung-ming versus Wang Ho in that finals. You could see Wang Ho sweating.
Yeah. I'm no
Wang Ho nervous.
the theater
I remember
nation and-
Olympics is number 1 in the Chinese book.
Yeah.
Not even Worlds, and Worlds harder to win.
Yeah.
But the Olympic title
Yeah.
is number 1. And you could have seen the pressure on Wang Ho and Mongoose man come out there.
Flying. Footwork.
Yes, man.
Quick.
And light him up.
Yeah. And I think Hugo gonna have the crowd in his favor.
Of course. Well, I'm not too sure, you know.
Well, a lot of Chinese.
Chinese
Chinese
there.
everywhere in the
If
world.
it was in Europe, like with Slaga.
Yeah.
Because the last European victory was 2003 with Slaga.
But he's not done. Hugo is non-European. He's
Well,
Brazilian.
him still like a represent.
Yeah, right.
You know, because we always...
Oh, you
lot
go
of
to European. You go
We're
play
tired
in
of seeing the
France.
Chinese dominate the
A
game.
lot of pressure on Wang Chukin.
I
I think
know
he's
that.
going to try to play it hard.
And I
He's
think,
not going to relax
I
and
wonder
play.
who's going to be the coach. Must Wang Ho, because pressure is on Wang Ho now, you know.
Yeah. I want to Wang
Because
Ho
them
has
looking
blood
at,
in the past.
I think them looking at Wang Ho to the side of them eye.
Gonna be,
You know what I mean? As
and
a
as
top
Peter
man.
said, Wang Chukin tend to start slow. And Hugo going to win the first set. That's more pressure.
Yeah, but Ken, remember Wang Chuchin nickname in the Chinese team, you know, is Lionheart. He's always been considered the Chinese man who will step up when the time comes. It's not the first time he's gotten big responsibility as a young
Yeah.
person. And I think he's going to
That's a
step up.
nickname.
How old is he, Peter?
No,
21,
man.
20?
He was probably about 22 or 23.
Okay.
But trust me, he's lion-hearted. I've seen him rescue China. Do you remember the time when they were 2-all with Japan? And he had to come back and win it? That guy is lion-hearted.
This
That,
moment gonna be probably the biggest moment come to date. This one here.
for both of them.
Because you guys playing on house money now.
Yeah.
You got doing winning the World Cup, reaching a World Championship finals right after. Right now you got having the time of my life. Right now you got etching name in history books as the man that can do it. Wang Chukin now.
The crowd favorite is Yuga all
Everybody
over the world.
expect China, and the whole of the fate of that nation coming from all the Chinese players come straight back, the whole nation, family, everybody. But as you said, Lionheart. So, but it's gonna be a pressure match for him.
All right, we can't.
And before Froggy comes on, just one
Peter,
thing
I'm
before
sorry, we
Froggy
can't
comes
go
on.
too deep in the table tennis. We're cutting into Froggy time. No, it's time for Froggy in 5.
Yeah, people, back again. So last week Kane took me to task because I didn't talk about Pep and the Man City situation. So I was just doing a little research on Man City and Pep. So this is what his 9th season at City. And I remember telling you guys that I think he overstayed. Now, coming into this season, everybody was saying City going to win the title. And first couple of games, they say Rodri is out, so look not going to look no way. And I keep telling you guys that Pep is no genius. Pep just find a normal team or find a team with superstars and just bring them. He can't build a team. He's not going to build a team from scratch. He's never going to do that. And if he finds himself in that position to do it, he's going to leave. Surprisingly, one player went out, which is Rodri, and the entire season collapsed. This is his 9th season, and City is on 68 points, the lowest in Pep's career. Entire career of football.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that it's down to one player.
But you're summing up his tenure, his 9-year tenure with one season. What has he accomplished over this 9-year tenure? No, what has he accomplished over the 9-year tenure?
Accomplishment is marred by him being a super.
I'm saying, what has he accomplished over the 9-year tenure?
He's won what? 7 championships.
Name somebody who has won 7 titles.
7, 9.
Name somebody who has won 7 titles in the history of football. Name somebody who has won 6 titles in the history of football.
But him not great because he don't build.
Built a team from scratch.
So that's why you don't rate him like Alex Ferguson and.
I don't even rate him over Arsene Wenger. He's never built a team from scratch.
You play the game to win, though, right?
I'm just saying.
Anybody
You tell me somebody who wins 69 years.
Can do what Pep, you know.
What?
Can just go to a super
So why they don't do it? Why they don't do it?
Because nobody's going to go to a super team. Which coach you know can, which super team?
Why is it a super team?
Why wouldn't I want
is
to
it
win as a
super team?
coach? I
But
don't
even
care
so-
whether it's super team or a regular team.
But why is it a
I
super
can't
team?
take.
Go back to my point.
But even so, he's
So you say there's an expiry date wherever Pep go?
Yeah.
Well, what's the expiry? 9-year period?
4 years ago.
For
It shouldn't have stayed so long.
But I'm saying if you win titles, I
This
mean,
year,
he's saying that the lowest Man City is lowest. Man City is 3rd in the league, you know,
yeah.
and
I may not qualify for
and
champions.
but they're in 3rd right now with 1 game to go.
One game, I may not.
But I'm saying they're in vine
What me I say?
versus a Man U team who loses 18
I don't want to
matches.
talk about Man U.
So he talking about Pep, you're not talking about Man U and Tottenham.
I don't want to talk about. I'm talking about Pep, and I'm talking about City and the title on this.
But even so, you're finishing top 3 in the so-called toughest league in the world.
I'm talking about the title on
No, but I'm saying when him don't win, him finishing 2nd or 3rd.
So
You're looking at the point total.
So what happened if
Him
he win
finishing
next
2nd or
year?
3rd.
What happened if he win next year?
the next year.
So what I said, what happened if Pep win?
Pep not winning. City
Well, he said
not
it's-
winning another title.
Oh, that's City is dead now.
No, they're dead.
No, Man U is dead.
I tell you that this time now, City is done. You know,
City is done.
City done.
So Pep have a move on now.
Yeah, what? So this season.
City is done once Pep
Something
is
happened
there.
This season, I don't know what is going on, but something happened this season, and I believe that this season was marred by that 115 charges
Oh,
by the FA, and I I strongly believe that the FA and FIFA and UEFA sat with City Board and said, don't bother try. Just play our glasses. Don't try to build up.
Conspiracy theory,
Because
boy.
something, your charges, them, they're not going to get away. There's no way you can have 115 charges and get away.
One thing I know in sports and in life, you can't win all the time.
I agree.
You can't. But hold on. You can't win all the time.
I agree.
I've played, let's say, 20 nationals.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Jordan played what? 15 seasons.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods play how many major tournaments? Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic.
Yeah.
You tell me Novak Djokovic only played 24 Grand Slams?
Yeah.
I am saying that you cannot win all the time. But if you play 9 seasons, 10 seasons, and you win 6, how can you say this man cannot be great? It don't matter with super team, you taking winning for granted. Which other team do it?
No other team in England is super.
What a track record? How you come up by this
It's a
expired
super
date?
team. How is it a super team?
He did it where? Where else him do it?
He's at Barcelona.
Yeah.
Him do it at Barca when him time up him just move. When him start lose.
He has to rebuild the team he left.
So your sample size is 2 teams. Your sample size is just 2.
And him win. And him win.
He has only coached 3 teams.
And him
And
win.
they did it at Bayern.
And him win.
Okay.
When he was to rebuild the Bayern team, he left and got to City.
Him win.
And when him supposed to win,
And now he's
So,
about to rebuild
so
the
rebuilding is
City
part of your job.
And he's leaving.
Rebuilding
He's
is
going
the
to leave.
and then when him go, where him gonna go?
Frog,
Whenever he's-
Frog,
I'm going to leave
I
and
can
win.
say something to you. Though.
Him gonna leave and him go win.
A lot of people, for me, I can't bother coach no little pit no more.
Yeah.
The building,
Yeah.
I can't bother with that no more. But it don't say I can't do it. I'm deal with the top one them now,
Yeah.
right? So sometimes when you get used to dealing with that level, it's very hard to go back down to that level. Not saying can't build it, but sometimes you just can't bother to go back down to that
What
part.
you want him to build? He deal with
You have-
professionals.
It's a different mindset.
Hold on. But what, you don't need to build a team. All you need to do is say, hey, bring that ball in, bring that
How
ball
you
in.
know that? How you know that?
Because he left Barcelona and went to an already built Bayern Munich team,
And win.
the machine,
Yeah.
And win.
and then left.
So you
and
think
went to a built
you're
Man
assuming that Pep
No.
cannot build a team?
So why?
Because him choose not to go that route.
He's never built. He can't.
How you know
How
that?
do you- but how do
You
you
say
build
never
a
do
team?
it yet. So how you know?
But how do you
I'm
build a
trying
team?
now.
And it's not working.
How do you build a team?
He won.
When last City win, Froggy? When last City win? Hold on. When was the last time City? The league.
Last year.
So Froggy, you're telling me that it takes 1 season to rebuild a team? No such thing, Froggy.
He has to rebuild
No,
from
no.
scratch.
When you're
What is
rebuilding,
build?
but give him
How do you build a team? You just spend money.
Yes.
I just get ballers
Froggy,
coming
you
in.
can't rebuild in 1 season, Froggy. You have to get a man time.
Time to do it.
Just like you have time to rebuild. If you're rebuilding, you
How
need
do
time.
Time for rebuild.
So you can't
But I'm
you
saying-
judge a man after 1 season, one
So,
bad
as long
season.
time I've been saying that he's never rebuilt a team. He's always have a core.
Yeah.
He's always have 11 players.
Yeah.
Like 4, 5, 6 seasons.
So what's wrong with that?
Froggy, you don't know if
What's
Pep
wrong with
can
that?
rebuild a team. The man great, Froggy. We
What-
play the game to win. We play the game to win, Froggy. Win.
That's, the
Win.
part, that's not a part of
At the highest
the job
level, we
description.
play the game to win.
Yeah,
That's
you
it,
could have
Papa.
coached Barca, Bayern and City and win.
No,
What do you mean?
I couldn't.
You could have do it.
No,
No, I
blasphemy.
couldn't. No.
no.
You're not giving the man enough credit.
No.
What he
No,
has done,
no,
nobody
Froggy.
has done before.
Fergie.
What Fergie do?
13.
In how many seasons? 6 in 9. That's a way higher percentage.
Yeah.
And the same balance. Too.
And the thing is, but then he didn't have much. There's more competition now.
Yeah.
The league is more close now.
Back then the league was close.
I don't think they weren't. I don't.
Back then it was close.
I think it was easier back then. It was
All right,
just
before
Arsene Wenger.
Froggy, tell
But
us
even
about
so, we don't even touch on Europa League. You're Manchester United and Tottenham playing a boring final.
No, I expected Man U to lose. I didn't say
Man
that
U
Man U is
have
bad.
him say Pep have 68 points and his Man U has 38 points, finishing 16th, 17th out of 20 league team. And you're singing on
No, but
Pep, who
I've
is
been-
top 3 playing Champions League football again. You can't win every year.
I think the point of Kane make is that you cannot win every year,
You
Froggy.
cannot win every year. It's not like Man City in 16th place.
Yeah.
Man City in 3rd. But Man City is in third position.
Not right
I,
now.
Frankie, we're gonna have to switch gears real quick. I only have about a minute and a half. What happened to Elaine? What happened to Elaine? Cause Peter touched on the fact that Elaine, we don't see Elaine, yeah? She in hiding.
He's not hiding, but I'm telling from last year.
Yeah,
That's
she-
it for Elaine.
Retirement.
I mean, not
I don't think
retirement, but
she's
she can't go back to that peak form.
That's
She
Achilles.
can't go back to 10-5.
Yeah.
With all that destruction, all of this and wear and tear.
Yeah.
I mean, done
so-
great
so
service.
She needed a year off.
So it's safe to say that
No year off.
Sharika will not come back to that form, and Elaine will not come back to that form.
I
I
don't
think
see it
Sharika
happening.
still have a chance.
I don't see it happening.
Both of them still have a chance.
I don't see
Both
it
of
happening.
them.
But I told her
Sharika
that
has
Elaine
more
need a
chance.
year off. Elaine need a year.
Yeah.
She need to rebuild.
A year off. It don't work like that. It don't work like
All right,
that.
guys, we went to the match. We went to the Premier League match.
Cavaliers,
Cavaliers roll out speed again.
back-to-back champions, winning
Boy,
on
them beating
penalties.
top of bad doing it, man.
I mean, Mount
Now I walk on the
Pleasant.
road after the match last night, and every man top of a go on, man. Because amount of people them buy and them can't win 2 years. Yo, the man them just a cuss over the 2 year. You know?
Yeah. And
It's
Mount
a-
Pleasant
yo,
1
it's-
year before.
Yeah.
And last year in the finals and
Yeah.
came again. Last time penalties.
In finals for the past 3 years.
Yeah. So
And I
roll out
mean-
speed, I do a good job then, man.
I mean,
He is the best coach in Jamaica in the country.
I don't know about
Peter,
that.
the background.
Yeah, man. He's the best coach
Yeah.
in the country. No doubt about
I mean,
that.
he's definitely one off. I mean,
How was the match yesterday? Cause we were boring.
It was boring. I mean, the highlight of the match was the penalty kicks. Last
Definitely,
part,
definitely,
the whole
definitely.
drama and, you know.
But I
To
think
me, it was a
but it was a
lackluster
good-
final, but then again, it is a final, so
Yeah.
both teams going to be dodgy. Not to say it was boring, but both teams.
it was boring for the
played-
most part.
Yeah,
But what I was happy about is the turnout. It was a
yeah, it
decent
was a
turnout.
good turnout. Good
So at
turnout.
least that's one positive.
Yeah, it was a good turnout.
Yeah, man, good turnout at the
And,
stadium.
I mean, it's a dodgy final because both teams know what's at stake and you're not going to overplay. They play to tactics. I mean, Mount Pleasant is the more compact ball playing side.
Yeah.
I mean, Cavaliers try to respond, catch him on the counter. I mean, not much happening on the pitch, but we can see where, hey, them know they playing for someone. And it was a good turnout.
Yeah.
Cavaliers won in the end, and congratulations to them. And we
Was one
Semifinals.
30 seconds, Frankie. We'll
I
wrap up.
realize that the football has become too tactical. They need to level the ball at them shirt.
That's one thing I was going to say
Level
too.
them shirt. Let them go there. Play some
At the end of the
ball.
day, it's entertainment, you know. At the end of the day, it's entertainment. And the next thing I think probably the league need to start hype up one or two of the ball of them. Because me I watch a game, even though I don't follow it as much, I should know one or two player. Apart
Warner
from
Brown,
busy,
Busy.
we all know Busy and Cavaliers.
Warner Brown.
And King at the back, the five what me rate already, yeah. But what I say is that overall them need to start hype up one or two of the ball of them on the team.
Get
So
them
when we
name
come
out.
out, we come out and say, yo, with them that play tonight, you know,
Ellis.
it forced me to
Yeah.
come out and watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
16 they want to play for Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it was a good turnout. Our
Yeah,
good
another-
friend, KC friend, who is
Owen
part
Hill.
of the Owen Hill, who's part of the
CEO.
he's the CEO.
CEO of
Yeah,
the Jamaican
CEO,
Premier League.
yeah.
Another successful,
job.
doing a good job.
Yeah, man.
And trying to, make football an event where
Yeah.
people, your family can go out and watch. And we saw that in the grandstands and
Mm.
over the bleachers had a good turnout as well. So, I mean, hats off to him and his team. And we'll try to get him on the show, if not next week, the week after, and give us a run on how the league progressed over
All
from
right.
last year to this year. So
Yeah, man. So on
we'll
that-
dive deeper into that next week as we wrap up the show. So, yeah.
Yeah, so on that note, we have to leave it right there. You know, French Open start tomorrow morning. Yeah, so if the tennis fans, can
World
4 o'clock.
Championship table tennis finals.
And the
tomorrow.
final should be at about what, 9 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
about that time. Anyway, people, I want to thank you all again for tuning in to Primal Sports Center. I'm your host, Dale.
I'm Kane Schwab Watson. I say big up Fit FM 96.7. I mean, the whole Primal team. I mean, all the viewers, without you, this wouldn't be possible. I mean, Peter, return back before I can give you the scores. I mean,
Even before you go, thank you, sir. And I'd like to apologize for being unable to pick up the calls that came in. I think Kane was a little unfamiliar with the software, but
Yeah.
we will have that problem solved by next time.
Software turn hardware. Yeah.
All right, thank you, guys.
Sorry.
Yeah, man. Peace from the Primal.
Sports Deck. See you next week. Same time, same place. Enjoy your weekend.